Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64, Josh. We got Crawler here. What's going on, baby?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
Johnny Bo, how are you?
It's been so long, there's a new intro.
It's been 84 years. That is true. A little more Mario Wonder, a little less Mario Odyssey. Well, we are gonna just really jump right into things. And I got three main topics for us to cover today. We're going to be talking about the latest leak. Shout out to Satisfy Grip for potentially leaking a picture of the Switch 2. It's a little blurry, but it's potentially there. And
was it made completely from feel? Is that how they made it?
It must have been. Yeah, it must have been something like that. We're also going to be talking about our thoughts on the Game Awards and a couple little topics from that, as well as our top 5 games in 2024. So before we jump into it, Johnny, where can people connect with you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Air podcast.
And Crawler, how about you?
Best spots are TikTok, Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky as well. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. Also, I guest hosted a couple episodes on Communication Air, so check me out there.
There we go. So first up, the Satisfy Grip. Have either of you guys seen this yet?
I saw the promo for the pre-order, but I didn't see like the image that you're talking about. Like I didn't see any image.
Okay, yeah. So there's it's kind of like a blurry image that shows the name of the new grip. It's like Next Gen Z or something like that. I'll try to pull it up here, and you can see like a silhouette and kind of make out the shape of the Switch 2 because it's sitting in the. When I first saw it, I was like, this looks like a Satisfy ripoff, and then I saw the link and it was like, oh, this is a Satisfy controller. So, so that's interesting, and so these leaks are, I mean, it's every day, right? There was accessories the other day, like a case and a screen, like a screen protector. And so, Johnny, kind of kick us off here. Like, what are your thoughts on all of these different leaks that just continue to drop in our laps?
I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. We've been talking about leaks for this whole entire year. I just want to see the actual thing. It's looking like, I mean, we're in December now, so we're probably not going to see the actual system until next year, I'm thinking. But I think these companies are just getting impatient. We've seen some developers that announce their games are coming to the Nintendo. They didn't say the Nintendo Switch, it just said like Nintendo. And I think we saw some more leaked Joy-Con last week. And I don't know, I think it's hard to tell if these leaks are real. I mean, it's just going to look like a Switch. Like, it's not going to look very different than what we already have.
That's very true. It looks very, very similar from everything we've seen. Crawler, what about you? What do you think about all these leaks?
I mean, we got to be getting close. I mean, if it falls kind of the same pattern of, what was that, 2017, then maybe January we see something official, and then maybe if it's crazy and we just roll a quick rollout, it's March, we're looking at something, March, April. That would be really cool. I think Xenoblade Chronicles X would run better on a new system if it were to come out. What day is that supposed to drop? Like early? Is it early?
It's March. It's March. I think it's March. I think they did.
They have a date.
I think it's March 20th, maybe, or around then. Let me check. I'll look it up. I wonder if if the Switch 2 does come out. I mean,
Yeah, you were right.
the
March 20th.
the new rumors are like it's gonna get revealed in January. Oh no, wait, no, that might even be wrong. Might be revealed in like February. I don't know. There's like May release date happening, and who knows? Who knows? But I feel like everybody moves the goalpost every couple weeks. Like before we took our little break, I'm pretty sure we were talking about the Switch 2 and how everybody thought it was going to get revealed in October, and October came and went and nothing, and now we're in December, and it's the same thing. It's the same song and dance, and I just want to see it. I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready. I am like Jenna says they need to hurry up. I'm impatient because me too.
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of my next question too. Is like, when do you guys think this system is going to launch? Like the like you said, John, they keep moving. Every like analyst keeps moving the goalpost, but then like Nate the Hate got on his podcast, kind of came back and said he's hearing from basically from developers that it's looking like a May 2025 release. When the Joy-Con picture leaked, that even that, like, what do you guys think about that whole thing where like, did they sneak some kind of like pinhole camera into the, like a little like were those pictures taken with a pen cam? Like is this like
it's 2024 and we're still getting these
2001
cam blur,
flip phone camera.
even if your phone is like, even if you're like shaking your phone, it somehow takes a very clear picture. So I know I mean, you could easily 3D print a Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con. Like it looked like a 3D print.
For sure. But I heard some good points about this. Like, these are high security areas, right? Like, you're not supposed to be able to get anything in there. So like, is there a possibility that these were taken with like a lapel camera, or like some like
button cam from a spy? Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
The things that we've learned this past couple of weeks, like that stuff's real now, man. Like, the stuff that you only see in John Wick movies, stuff's real, apparently.
And you could probably buy it on TikTok Shop. So, no, but so like
4 more weeks. That's about it.
Right. Yeah. So the thing with like, when those Joy-Cons leaked, that person said there's not enough inventory, right? They don't have enough inventory for the March release, right? That wouldn't end up being the case. The other rumor, or the other, like, based on all those like shipping manifests and all that kind of stuff, and from, I believe it was from Nate the Hate's podcast, was he's hearing somewhere along the lines between 6 and 8 million units at launch, which would really put a damper on scalpers, which is really what they're after. Because I mean, if you think about that, like, even though they don't see the markup necessarily, like Nintendo's not going to see that revenue if somebody goes and buys that system at an inflated price. But that inflated price could potentially be like multiple pieces of software that they skip on because they paid so much more for the console, right? So it's beneficial for them as well to get it into everybody's hands that wants it, because they could be potentially missing out on software sales if people are spending that money on the inflated price of a scalp system. So, but where are you guys at though? Do you think these at least from like Nate the Hate, who's a pretty reliable source typically when it comes to leaks and rumors, do you think Switch is launching in May?
I hope so.
I hope it's before then. I really hope it's before then. But I can see that. I mean, the PAX East changed its like date to May. It's usually in March. I'm not saying that there's any correlation, but maybe there is. Maybe Nintendo gave them a heads up, like, hey, we're gonna have a big launch in May. So it'd be better for us if you have your thing in May. I mean, I still hope it's earlier, but I don't want to wait until the holiday, I guess. So I'm also looking at. I see the blurry image, and it just looks like a Switch. I think anybody could have made that. Like they probably just use the Switch model that we have now as the render. Also, like satisfy your grips are not comfortable. All right, stop putting that stupid jetted out right side of the. Have either of you guys used a Satisfy grip on the Switch?
I have one. I liked it, but you know, I
don't
got
like
used
that.
to it real quick.
It feels weird.
Well, I liked it because it put your thumb at a natural position for the right thumbstick because of it being low. But now
But it
I
feels
play
weird.
with
It's like
that.
it's not symmetrical. Like it doesn't feel right.
Oh, I mean, I can see where you're getting at for sure. I didn't mind it. I know I liked it better than just holding Joy-Con. I can tell you that much. But now I've been playing with that GameSir grip like exclusively. That thing has got me playing more games than ever before. So, I mean, I rebeat Dread. I beat Echoes of Wisdom on it. Like I'm playing Brothership on it.
Did you beat Echoes of Wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, this is like on their website.
Right.
Like you could pre-order it right now.
Yep. Yeah. So
it says made for next gen console.
And I mean, so does Nintendo give them permission to do something like this so that they how because obviously cease and desist are right out of the or they'll just come flying out of nowhere if they're not careful. So
are there specs on this thing? Like, can you see what the dimensions are or no?
Probably how wide it is, probably.
I don't know how many. I didn't go and I haven't looked. I've just seen the pictures that came up, like the screenshots, and I was like, oh.
I'm looking at it, and the back of it's weird. I don't know if maybe it is. I can't tell, but it looks like there's like switch carts in the back of the.
Oh, for holding more games.
Yeah, it looks like it, but I might be wrong. But I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me that they definitely try to innovate on some stuff, when it comes
says
to
shipping. It says shipping estimated spring 2025.
So that's
all got to just be.
May is in spring.
It is, yeah. So is June, all the way till the 21st, right?
Yeah, and Nintendo loves to do that crap. We're like, oh, it'll come out summer, and summer is like September 19th.
Well, yeah, because they said that we have all the way up until March 20th or whatever to hear about the Switch 2. Because they just said end of the quarter.
Yeah, they'll reveal it on March 30th. we said we're going to do it by the end of the fiscal year.
So they're flat out telling us the release date. Why would they ship this?
I mean, I guess you could ship it before it's out. I guess you can, like if they want to get ahead of it. Like if you want to have it for when this thing launches, they know it's going to be revealed by the end of March. So like they could ship it out before like the system even comes out, just when it's revealed. It does say dockable design too. So whatever this
so it can
is,
stay in the grip.
Whatever this is, can fit in the dock of the new system.
Here we go. Here's
There it is. Yeah, this is on their website. So this is official. It's not like shady leaks or anything. This is officially on the Satisfy website.
Are those just grips, or are those back paddles to engage something?
Yeah, I don't know that. That's what I'm talking about. It looks like Switch carts.
It's got Switch games. They're holding Switch games.
But that's weird, right? That's weird.
I mean, you can hold a few extra, but like, who's gonna?
I feel like that's gonna fall out too. I wouldn't trust that.
I don't think that. I think that's just the color is this black and red, and I think that's just like either it might be a button, it might be extra.
It might be a button. I mean, I'm thinking the red stuff on the inside. It's partly grips, but I'm wondering if it's an engaged button that you're pressing on the back to.
Well, there are Nintendo Switch.
Well,
I don't know if it's grips.
You see right here on the. It doesn't look like there's anything on the inside right here that this would be a button for. That where it looks like holding where it looks like it's holding a cart. It doesn't look like there's anything here that moves.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it okay? Zen Grip 2. I thought it was Zen Grip Z because it looks like
Zen
a Z.
Grips. Zen Grips.
Yeah, and it says what does it say? Oh, it says have yours in hand for the next gen launch. So they're, I think, planning to ship this out before the system's released.
That's also, I mean, good on them for not leaking anything. I guess they want to keep their partnership, but that just feels like that's not.
No, go away.
No, I'm here. What's going on, cheese curds?
You look like Steve Jobs.
Is that a compliment?
You got like a black turtleneck on.
No, it's not a turtleneck, but it is a very nice sweater. So I'll take it as a compliment then.
So good to see you, Cheesy. So good to see.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Pay no attention to the riffraff that was here before you.
I just don't trust, like, without like an official reveal, I don't trust that it's fully fit to the system.
So this is a little bit different than I don't think I have my grip, my Satisfy grip, but it does look a little different than the regular. Whoa.
My bad. I got it muted.
The bar is like on top as opposed to like right in the back. So I wonder if the Switch has a different design.
Is that all that video is 13 seconds of just a black?
There it is. Switch 2.
There's Switch 2, you guys. The size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, that's not real.
I think that's a render. Like that's a 3D mock.
That's a CAD video or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when does it ship?
It says spring
2025.
So we were talking before you rudely just hopped in with no notice.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about when we thought the Switch 2 was gonna be released, and that like the new rumors are May of 2025.
It's going to be released or announced?
Released. Well, it has to be announced before April.
It says have in hand for the next gen launch. For stuff like this, like especially like the first year, I really only trust like first party stuff. Third party stuff, give them time to get it fully under control, but I wouldn't trust this.
So are you guys saying that there's only they only need 2 months of announcements to release a new console?
Yeah.
This is what they're saying. I mean,
yeah, that's what the rumors are.
Is that what they'll announce it in March and then it comes out in May?
I think people are saying announcing in like February.
I mean,
come out.
Even that's still pretty soon.
I heard.
Spring is all the way till June 20th.
Yeah, and I was talking with like Thunderstash about this a little bit, and like because it's potentially Switch 2, it's an iteration. It's not like the Switch where it was like this is completely different than the Wii U. It may
Yeah.
be a little bit easier marketing cycle because everybody already knows Switch. We know it's going to stay in the Switch family, right? Because Nintendo Switch Online's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like
And
the screen-
backwards compat has been confirmed by Nintendo.
Exactly. So like, you know,
Oh, that is
and
game carts. That's game carts. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're
I'm looking
fine.
at the
Specs.
features, and it
Okay.
says securely store up to 2 game cards. Why?
Just two.
Why?
Yeah.
So, but that's
That's
worth
about
having
as
a
many as Johnny
conversation
had
about.
up until like
I have
8 months
40.
ago.
I have 40 physical games. We haven't talked.
I said up
forever.
until like 5 months ago.
But either this only stores old Switch games or Switch 2 carts are identical. There's going to be no like.
There's going to be
Oh, yeah, you're right.
they're going to do the notch. They're going to like they did for what was that?
3DS.
There's no notch
3DS.
in there though.
Well, no, because those are old cards, but they're going to be the same form factor, but there'll be a notch to prevent it from.
So here's what I can tell you that I do know firsthand about Satisfy. At E3 2019, I spent a lot of time chatting with these guys, like multiple days, and all of the suits from Nintendo spent a fair amount of time chatting with them, loved the product. So I would say there is a very, very good chance that they have the knowledge of when it's coming out. Like they are very much on Nintendo's radar, and very well could have been one of the companies that got to touch the the Switch in the in the box or whatever. So but
This pretty much guarantees what the form factor is going to be.
Yeah, they're not going to change it.
We know what the form factor is.
Well, they're showing it in that top secret right there on screen. They're showing the red outline. It's just going to look like.
That's just a Switch. Like that's just the.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everybody's good with that. Like, keep the thing hybrid, keep the Joy-Cons, make them what they are. Like I think it's
the back of the dock looks like it's not going to go up as high as the current dock.
If that's dockable.
If you look at the cutout there.
Yeah, because I think
maybe it's up until like if you take your cursor about halfway down there, it looks like it's indented in there.
Yeah, it looks
so
like a lot of grips have that ability to be docked.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen them, the hand drawings of what the dock is, and it does look a little small. I mean, take it or leave it. Who knows if it's, it literally was drawn with crayons. So it's hard to say, but look at all the verbiage on here. Next gen console, like advanced floating design, full port accessibility, like dockable design. They're not talking about the OG Switch. There's no, that's not next gen.
If you go to the Zen grips, if you scroll up, they have a little Zen grip section. Go to the Ronin.
Yeah.
It's essentially that.
Right.
With a different, a little bit different form factor.
So you can see how it docks. And it has the.
So those
the
are
storage.
rubberized grippers on the inside then.
The storage is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, I don't think I would want my fingers on that.
And the right here, made for OLED, made for Switch. So it's next gen console, right? Like, so I mean, to me, this all but solidifies the fact that it'll be a spring launch, because they aren't going to sell this I mean, maybe they would. They're gonna start shipping their grips for a system nobody has.
Yeah, so you can have it in hand.
I think they will. Like I think they will ship it before it's because they know it's going to be real. They know it has to be revealed by April. So they could ship this thing. They can start shipping this thing April at the latest. Because everybody will know what it is.
And you know, we could just be looking at prototypes that, I mean, it could be what the final product looks like, but I don't know that they are like giving specific dimensions. So depending on what their turnaround time is for manufacturing, it could they could potentially delay if they need to or whatever the case is to get everything completely accurate. But
Yeah,
who
just
knows?
look
Maybe
for
they're
that
building off
that
of
splash headline on their website that says sold more copy or sold more units than the Switch 2 has sold. Like,
right. Yeah. Well, Cheesy, when you jumped in, it seemed like you may have somewhat of a strong opinion on when you think the next Switch is launching. When do you think it's happening?
No, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that I have a strong opinion on it, but what I thought you guys were saying is that it would be revealed in March and then, released in May. And I was just thinking about like the first or the Switch, and what they revealed that in October, and then it was released in March. So like 5 months. But I can understand what you're saying is like if it's an iteration, maybe they don't need to do that much advertising on it. But I also the further that we get away from the Switch 2 being revealed or whatever it's called, it does make me worried about the marketing of it. Like, will they have another kind of Wii U situation where it's like, well, no, I thought you have the Switch at home. Why? What is this?
I just saw a post where it was that Homelander meme where he's like watching a show.
Yeah.
It was like the caption was parents 3 months after they just bought their kid a Nintendo Switch, and now they're asking for the new Nintendo system.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's literally no way around that, right? Like that's just the name of the game. And I will say this, I think they announced the Switch 2 a year ago by mentioning it at all. So they've technically made this system known longer than what they did with Switch 1.
But
yeah,
did
this is probably going to be their weakest holiday sales this year.
Yeah.
It's still probably going to be good, but it's going to be their weakest year.
Potentially, but I have seen quite a few people, and not that my chat is like a, by any means like a fantastic indicator, but I have seen a number of people come through saying, "Yo, I'm getting a Switch for my nephew, or I'm getting one for the family, or I'm upgrading to the OLED, or my battery went bad and I had to go get an OLED today," and I think like the sale that like Target had, I have a feeling there's some people that you can get an OLED with Mario Kart and Nintendo Switch Online for $75 more than a Switch Lite. Like,
yeah.
And I also wonder,
I would say it's only worth replacing right now. If you're looking to upgrade, this is not the time to do that. Like I told my coworker they have one Switch in their house, and he's like, we want to get more for the kids. And I was like, don't do that this year. I was like, just you get your Switch, and then that can be the kids' Switch later.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, I'm on the side that I believe Nintendo is going to continue supporting Switch 1 for the next 2 years with remakes and remasters. I think those will be what is cross-platform between the two systems, and that the new IP, or not a new IP, but the next iterations of games will be strictly Switch 2, so your Odyssey 2, if you will, or whatever the case may be.
Is there anything left on Wii U that needs to come?
Well, the new rumor, along with this the Nate the Hate stuff was Kirby Planet Robobot
Yep.
is going to get a Nintendo Switch port.
I think 3DS games are going to be the next big library that Nintendo goes up. They've already shown us Donkey Kong Country HD remake or Returns HD is
remake.
It's the 3DS game. It's not the Wii. Like some people have done graphical comparisons of that. Like Game Explain did a graphical comparison of Wii versus the Switch trailer, and the Wii in some places looks better because they've just up-resed the 3DS models. Because I think it's my assumption is that it's easier for them to do. We got Luigi's Mansion 2. We got Monster Hunter Generations. Didn't seem like it was too. I think that's what it was. Didn't seem like it was too difficult. There may be others. I can't remember off the top. Oh, the Stories games from Capcom's done this a few times now. The Monster Hunter Stories games. And so
I could see Capcom putting out probably Resident Evil 4 eventually on the new Switch too. Like the remake.
Yeah.
And 2.
But I think, we often look at the Wii U library, and there's Paper Mario is still there. Whether or not that would get any love, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo's doing something kind of crazy right now, which I love. They drip fed Donkey Kong games. Up until next month, I believe you'll have every Donkey Kong Country game on your Switch if you purchase Returns HD. Because you have every Super Nintendo game, every Game Boy game, plus Tropical Freeze, and then the HD remake, or Returns HD or whatever. So
bring Diddy Kong Racing, you cowards.
I honestly think it may happen. I think Donkey Kong 64 and racing may get drip fed through the holiday, like potentially.
Yeah.
Again, just potentially. So.
And bring us a what's the little already beaten version of the game? Bring us a beaten version of Donkey Kong 64, so we don't have to go collect-a-thon crazy.
The SP version. Just start you at the end.
Nobody has time for that. For 5 different Kongs to go get all those bananas.
Right. Yeah. It takes a long time. I remember those were dark days. That's for sure. All right. Well, let's jump into the next topic here. We'll talk about some of the Game Awards. Okay. Well, Game Awards on their way, right around the corner here. And what do you guys think about this year's nominated games? Johnny, I'll let you kick it off because I know you like at least one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the game of the year is Balatro, and I now know Cheesy agrees with me. So it's
true. It's true. Yeah. I don't have to play the other games. I'm addicted to that game, and probably not the best time for me to be addicted to a game with raising a child in this world.
There's no time limit on that. You can just put it down and come back to it.
No, I know. I actually found out that I have Apple Arcade, so I've been playing it on my phone, it's like a perfect phone game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about for Nintendo games. Nothing really got nominated besides their typical Nintendo category, the family category, which they're probably going to lose.
Which they might even lose this year. I think if Astrobot wins Game of the Year, then Mario Party might win Family Game.
They also got nominated in other spots, didn't they?
Barely.
Well, there's Best Mobile Game for
TCG
Pokemon.
Pocket.
Metroid for Most Anticipated.
Oh, yeah, most anticipated.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's going to lose. GTA 6 is running away with that category. I mean, I think Balatro definitely wins Indie Game of the Year. I don't know if it has enough to get Game of the Year unless other stuff divides people. I put in my vote, even though it's like 10% is what our thing is. I voted Astrobot, but it was between Astrobot and Balatro. But it's kind of a weird year for games. I feel like next year is going to be a much stronger year.
We say that every year. Next year's the year. Next year's definitely the year.
delay.
But I mean, I do like a game. I like lots of games. Balatro is a fantastic game. I like Pokemon TCG Pocket. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I like.
How much money have you spent on TCG Pocket?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how much I spend. I made a lot of money.
Has your bank called to stop the payments?
Well, I don't know. I might have gotten like an email saying like, "Yo, what's going on here?" There's a lot of Apple charges.
Suspected fraud alert.
But I liked Echoes of Wisdom. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was like, it didn't blow me away. And I like Brothership as well. I think everything that came out this year for Nintendo was just kind of okay. It wasn't anything terrible, but it wasn't anything to like knock your socks off. Oh, and I've been playing Star Wars Hunters. Star Wars Hunters is fun.
Yeah, first party Nintendo this year has been kind of meh.
I know Nintendo probably doesn't really care that much about the Game Awards, but do you think that in a way this says something to them that they're not one of their games was nominated for Game of the Year? Because I mean, I feel like every year
they were the runner-up last year for Game of the Year. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I feel like every year they've had at least one game that's been nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, Astrobot took their spot.
I think I would say they probably believed Echoes was good enough to be nominated. And at the same time though, and it you know, it's just kind of hearsay, but that potentially the Switch 2 was delayed, and that they could be like next year could be stacked. Remember when Switch came out and it was Breath of the Wild and Odyssey were like
once a month.
Last year at Game Awards, it was Tears of the Kingdom and Wonder. They both got nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Game of the Year.
Yeah, so it's almost like they stack a year and then they're like, and that doesn't seem uncommon, right? Because I mean, Animal Crossing being like the absolute powerhouse that it was, if I remember correctly, didn't win Game of the Year.
No, that it lost to Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
but it did get nominated though, right? It did get nominated.
Yeah.
So not necessarily a award, but do you think to hype up potential launch date for Metroid Prime, do we get 2 and 3 shadow dropped and then physical release in like February?
You mean at the Game Awards?
Yeah, because Donkey Kong is January, right? And Xenoblade is March. Do we have anything for February right now?
We don't even have anything for December.
We have Indiana Jones.
More remakes and remasters.
Nintendo. I'm gonna play Indiana Jones.
Crawler, I'm gonna say no, because I feel like that's what we were waiting for forever with Metroid Prime 4. Is that like it would be announced at the Game Awards, and then it was announced in a direct. I'm not expecting anything from Nintendo. Like it just seems like every year they're stepping further away from the Keighley Awards
because they're boring.
The
only it's supposed to be a celebration of video games.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the right audience, man. Like they know that the directs is what
gaming. It's the gaming audience.
I mean, they did
the whole audience of gamers.
Joker reveal on the day that people were driving to go. Like I was driving to go pick up Smash, and they did the Joker reveal.
It's the exact audience, gamers.
So I'll touch on that a little bit because, Cheesy, I think it's more of the audience for Metroid than not.
Right? I agree with you.
So to me, they released this pre-order for this Metroid Prime 2 and 3 book on the 20th anniversary of Metroid Prime 2. That's like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it seems like they want to have the entire lineup of Prime games ready to go before Prime 4 launches.
Mhm.
I'm very there's nothing I want to do more than play Prime 2 this holiday. Like, I would literally drop everything I'm playing just to be able to play that. So I'm very hopeful. I think there's a few signs that might point to it, but there's been a ton of debate between insiders if it's going to be a full remake or if it's going to be a Pikmin 1 and 2 scenario where it's kind of like updated controls. Here's the other two games. And I really hope I feel like they would almost shoot themselves in the foot doing it that way. I hope they give it the full treatment that Prime Remaster got, because that game it's gorgeous. It's astonishing what GameCube games look like when they get the modern polish on them. So, I mean,
really don't think I want Metroid Prime 2 and 3, but it's not exciting. Like, remakes aren't exciting. They're not. This whole year was remakes, remasters, and it was a very meh year. Like, I want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess 2, but like, it's not the announcement that I would want to see from Nintendo at the Game Awards. I would love to see them reveal like a new Mario or the new Mario Kart or even the Switch 2. That's the kind of announcements that I want from Nintendo at the Game Awards, not a remake or a remaster. And like, if we're going in, we already have 2 remakes or remasters announced for next year. We have Donkey Kong and we have Xenoblade. I'm over it. I'm over these remasters.
I don't think they're going anywhere, though. I think it's how they keep supporting Switch 1 up until they finally put the nail in the coffin a couple years from now. That's my hope too, because otherwise we're stuck getting games that run on both systems, which I think this current generation proved to us it did not work. Right? Because everybody bought
I don't want that either,
but Series X, and they're like, what? Like,
but I want to see the new stuff. Like, I don't need to see remakes or remasters. It's not exciting.
I guess right now, like, do you guys feel the need to watch the Game Awards? Like, is there anything that is like, oh, maybe they'll show this here, or like, I just feel like there's nothing really that is pulling me in to watch the Game Awards this year.
Because Nintendo is lame and they never participate. But like, if you have other systems, it's fun. Like, it's fun seeing.
Oh, dude,
I'm going to be at work, so I'll just get to see the recap of everything.
There we go. Your camera like went full pixel mode.
Can you hear me?
He was like, oh, he dropped down to 8.
Oh, okay.
You dropped to 8-bit. Yeah, you're back. You're back.
I mean, we don't have like E3 anymore. We don't have we need stuff like this, like the Game Awards, like Gamescom, like Summer Game Fest. We need things like this to get us excited, because we don't have the big E3. Like, it's done. So this is what we get.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moment everything was announced for Game Awards this year and they put DLC in for Game of the Year, I think it was like what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I care all that much, because it's like, I just look to see what Nintendo game is going to get there, because it's probably what I've played. And if none of them have, but at the same time, when there are good, like, when Echoes is right there and it's getting looked over because of DLC, that DLC is also amazing. And it's also probably the way gaming is going, where DLC is going to be more. So like, they almost have to do that, Some, like Nate in the chat saying Game Awards become a joke.
But it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Like, nothing has changed. Right?
It was worse when it was on Spike TV. It was cringy then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
now it's now you can see kind of where Jeff is getting his money to keep the lights on and rent the theater space and all that kind of stuff. It's more apparent there, versus having,
You mean
because
the
he's
Game
doing
Awards
it
are pay to win?
himself. He's doing it himself as opposed to like network TV, like a cable network paying, kind of
I mean, well,
taking some of that cost and selling advertising space. He's selling his advertising space now, and some of it's a little in your face about it, and people see through that a little bit. But
we'll have a 10-minute section with Kojima that like no one really cares about, and they'll do a bunch of world premieres. It's the same thing. I mean, that's how.
Yeah.
But that's what we have now because we don't get E3s.
Yeah, well, and Nate's talking about Pacino and stuff, like, and there's been like Vin Diesel, and there's people that come out like Keanu at like the Xbox show. He was excited to be there and like was engaging with people, but like there's some Hollywood, like, you don't need to roll the Hollywood people out because they don't know what they're doing there unless you can find a true like somebody that's plugged into the gaming space. I don't know.
If you think back over the last probably 4 years, I think especially as Nintendo fans, we've all sat and waited for some kind of an announcement. And there's like, we used to get like a fighter announced in Smash or something, you know, like wasn't Bayonetta announced at like
You also,
Bayonetta
like
3 or
the
something?
Zelda DLC shadow dropped.
Yep.
Yeah.
That night.
So they've had that. They've had that.
But they've trickled off.
Was that also, was Reggie still around during those?
Yes.
You know, so
Do we have numbers on how well the DLC sold for Breath of the Wild? Or like how many downloads there were? Because I wonder if that was like just the start of it, where they were trying to experiment with the Game Awards. Maybe that announcement didn't go over as much as they thought it would. Like, yeah, with Nintendo fans, it was an awesome surprise to see, but maybe it just wasn't as big as what they were wanting. And then Joker being announced in Smash, like, yeah, it's cool to see a Smash character, but Joker is from Persona. So like that is reaching a different audience than Nintendo fans.
It's JRPG fans. They're pretty much one and the same.
Yeah. All right. I gotta bounce though, guys. So I will listen to the conversation as it continues. But it was good chatting with you guys.
Yeah, good to see you.
Take it easy, brother. We'll be wrapping up here shortly. So have a good one.
But to say the Game Awards isn't the audience, where it's literally gamers, where we watch them, everybody here in here watch them. Everybody in the chat watches them. Everybody watches them.
They're not there to watch Nintendo.
But they could be. Like,
they could be. They could be.
That's why I'm watching them for Nintendo. And we don't
if
get
Astrobot wins, I think people are going to be upset.
I mean,
if it wins,
I don't know what that has to do with Nintendo.
Well, because that is kind of like a Nintendo game. We've been saying it all year.
I don't think it's going to win. I think Final Fantasy will win.
I said that, and then you on communication error, and you told me I was wrong.
Well, I want Balatro to win. Balatro should win, but
deflect.
It's going to be Final Fantasy, and which is technically even a remake. So we got a remake, a game that shouldn't even be there, in Black Myth Wukong, because it's like the lowest scored game. There's definitely games that were better than it this year. Shadow of the Erd Tree is fantastic, and I think it deserves to be there. It's better than 99% of the games that came out this year, even though it is DLC. But yeah, Final Fantasy will probably win. Metaphor, I doubt, has a chance.
Do you get what I was saying though?
Well, because you think people are going to be mad no matter what, though.
Well, sure, but okay, but
like JRPGs are not that popular. Like, I think Final Fantasy Rebirth sold probably 3 million copies. Metaphor, 1 million copies. Like these aren't 20 million sellers that some of the game of the year nominees usually are, like Last of Us or God of War. Like they're all niche comparatively.
Is Final Fantasy niche?
Take a
Yes.
shot.
Like it does not sell well. Like everybody knows what it is, but it doesn't sell well.
Trying to see if there's what if I could see some numbers as far as like what each of those games did. After some of them were announced as game of the year, their numbers went higher, which is kind of cool. Astrobot jumped 61%. So
yeah, that even still only sold 1.5 million copies. But I don't know, just the Game Awards are for everybody, and Nintendo not participating is so stupid to me. It's so
it's one of those scenarios where like everybody needs to be involved for it to be something enjoyable, because right now it feels like a nice picture of steak, but on the it's like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when he cuts into the turkey and it just deflates.
yeah.
That's literally how I feel about the Game Awards. It has this we are a real thing, but there's no real substance to it. It just it has a real shiny look, but not. And I don't think it's all its fault entirely. I think gaming is just not Hollywood. I think gaming is not where it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, where it was like things like Fortnite and Warzone and Apex and all, like they disrupted everything. Like they disrupted everything. And there's nothing we can do about it. It's the way it's going. But and even like, I don't know if you guys caught any of the interviews with the devs from Metroid Prime 2 Remastered. The remakes in some cases are harder to and more expensive to do than the original run of the game, because you have to try to match art assets identically versus just coming up with something initially the first time. And so they're not always as cost effective as we might think they are. But we still are. I mean, this year's been full of them. And to the point, even Johnny's got massive fatigue. And I think a lot of people do. It's like, we saw, albeit everybody gets like real hyped when it's like, 1,000 Year Door comes out and it's like, or Super Mario RPG or some of these, older titles that are very well loved. But then Nintendo's also dipping their toes in the water. And this, we had Peach come out this year too, right? Wasn't that? And that,
Yep.
It didn't do super well. We had the Mario versus Donkey Kong. Like, it did feel like a lot of filler titles. And so, but Echoes did stand out, and that story of Echoes was great. So that's one that's still a little bit of I'm a little bit baffled by the fact that it wouldn't even get mentioned. If a game like Animal Crossing can be nominated for Game of the Year, and I'm not saying anything bad about Animal Crossing, I think there's no reason that Echoes couldn't be on that same list. It was well received and was really, really fun. So, but yeah, well, we're just about at that hour mark, and so we'll wrap it up there. But the last question: Are you guys gonna watch them, or are you gonna just skip them all together?
I am watching them. I'm gonna be watching them on the Drip and G podcast channel while eating the chip.
Doubt.
So
he says that. He says it. We just have to wait for it to actually happen.
Thursday. And yes, I'm definitely going to watch it because there's going to be Nintendo announcements. You're all wrong. This is the exact audience that wants to see Nintendo stuff.
I also will be watching it. I don't know. Every year I feel like I watch them and it drags on and it's so long and like every game starts to look the same. But as like someone who's part of the community, like I do want to watch them and see what's going to be announced, or I don't know. You know, like I'm sure something will come out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be hosting it, guys. I'll be watching it on TikTok. I applied for the co-streaming or whatever on TikTok. So that's where I'll be watching it. If you guys want to hang out, you should definitely open a second tab and watch Johnny eat the chip and see how much milk he consumes within the hour there. The real test is if he can take it as well as Cheesy did. That's the real test. So but appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys being here live. And we will catch you all later. Bye now.